Okay, today we're going to be making some plant-based pancakes. Okay, to make these plant-based pancakes, you need a mixing bowl, you need a measuring cup, and the Ziploc bag we're going to use later to crush up some walnuts. You need a big mixing spoon and a small teaspoon, and I like to use unbleached all-purpose flour, but you can use other flour as well that you prefer. And you need some baking powder, some vanilla extract, and some vanilla almond milk. Let me know if you've tried using other plant-based milks to make your pancake better. I just found the vanilla almond milk works great. And some vegan butter. And some ground flaxseed. And some walnuts. And again, if you don't like walnuts or you're allergic, you can omit those. And some vegan chocolate chips. Again, there's no dairy, there's no eggs in these pancakes. And so as an egg substitute, you could use a smashed banana, where you peel a banana and smash it in a bowl, or you can use these little applesauce cups. It's up to you. So we're going to start by putting 2 cups of this unbleached all-purpose flour in our mixing bowl. And it doesn't have to be exact, we're just making pancakes. And I like to mix the dry ingredients first in the bowl and then add the wet ingredients. Now we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of the baking powder. Another ingredient that I forgot to mention previously is some salt. We're just going to add a sprinkle of salt. And then we're going to add 2 big tablespoons of ground flaxseed. Ground flaxseed makes the recipe healthier. The flaxseed will mix with the liquid and kind of act as a binder or also as an egg substitute. So in this case, the flaxseed and the applesauce is going to essentially be our egg substitute for this recipe. Then I just gently mix the dry ingredients together. Next, we will go ahead and crunch up the walnuts in that Ziploc bag. And if you don't like walnuts or you are allergic to walnuts, you can omit these. If you do like walnuts, you can crush them up however fine you prefer. If you like bigger chunks, I don't. My kids and I like smaller, finer, crushed up walnut pieces. And I found what works best to do that is like a can of corn or whatever can of tomato sauce, whatever you got in your pantry. Works great to crush them up quick and easy. Like so. And then we'll go ahead and dump these crushed walnut pieces into our dry mix. And mix it together. Now for our wet ingredients. And this is just plain applesauce, nothing fancy. And again, you can use smashed bananas instead of the applesauce, which I actually prefer. I just didn't have any bananas on this day. Just a tiny bit of vanilla extract. And I don't usually measure the amount of vanilla almond milk when I make pancakes. I just eyeball it. So if the batter looks too thick, add a little bit more vanilla almond milk. But leave me a comment and let me know if you've tried making pancakes with another type of plant-based milk. And if you think if it's turned out better or the same, I'd be curious to know. And so you can see it looks too thick. We're not making biscuits, we're making pancakes. So I need to thin this out a little bit more. So I'll just simply add some more vanilla almond milk. And honestly, I've even used water. I've added a little bit of water to the batter in the past to thin it out, and that works fine too.
Wow.
We just don't want it too thin because we're not making crepes. We're not making waffles. We're making pancakes. And I'm almost happy here with the consistency. We're getting pretty close.
Woo!
And obviously, if your batter is thinner, you're going to probably get thinner pancakes. If it's a thicker batter, you're probably going to get thicker pancakes, more fluffy. So just keep that in mind. Now we'll go ahead and add in our vegan chocolate chips. Don't need to stir it too long. Looks good. So now we've preheated our nonstick frying pan. This is a ceramic coated frying pan on the stove, about a medium heat to medium low heat, not too high but not too low. And I usually like to try and do 4 pancakes at a time. I'll try to see if I can do this without getting in the way of the camera. First, I like to add just a tiny bit of the vegan plant-based butter. You don't have to do this, it's a non-stick pan. But if you want a little bit of that buttery taste or crispiness on your pancakes, that's why we add the vegan butter. Try not to use too much because obviously even vegan butter is not a health food. Now we can go ahead and add our batter to the frying pan. You can scoop it in, but honestly sometimes it's easier to pour it in, whatever works best for you. And this batter still to me looks a little bit thick. So I'm going to go over here to the sink. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of water from the faucet and mix that in just to thin it out a little bit more. You see that's a little bit better consistency now. So again, you can also just pour it in like so. And then we'll let those cook in the frying pan until you start to see little bubbles forming in the batter. And sometimes you'll start to see the edge of the pancake start to firm up. Obviously, you don't want to wait too long to flip them over because you don't want to overcook them, but you don't want to do it too soon either. We like to use agave syrup on our pancakes, but you can also use maple syrup, whatever your preference is. We're also going to add some berries to the plate to have with the pancakes. So some strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, blackberries,
Woo!
whatever your preference is. Okay, and you can see the little bubbles I'm talking about, the little holes on top of the pancakes that let you know it's ready to flip over. And because we're using a non-stick frying pan, you never want to use any kind of metal utensils on your non-stick frying pans. So I prefer wood over any kind of plastic, because with plastic you might have to worry about microplastics getting into your food. Again, that's just my own personal preference. And my girls and myself, we like our pancakes to be like just a very light golden brown. We don't like them too dark. But again, everybody has their own preference. So we're going to flip them over. Almost done. And this batter usually makes about 7 to 8 pancakes in total. Okay, yep, those look good. And we'll go ahead and plate them. Add our agave syrup. Leave me a comment, let me know if you found this recipe helpful. I hope this information helps you. Now we're ready for breakfast.
Wow.
And the last thing we'll do is pour some juice for everybody. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, and thanks for watching.